Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a drop-down list in Excel that's dynamic with other formulas. This is a really useful tool when you're extracting information from a large data set and you'd like to create a summary that you can quickly flick through a few different options based on your drop-down list. So here on my screen you can see I've got a little bit of data to the left hand side, a data range based on some pen sales. What I've done is created a drop-down list here based on my region code, and as I flick through the different options it populates all the cells below, which is a brilliant way to show a summarized bit of information to someone who only wants to see a top level. This is visually really good to look at. It is really helpful, really useful tool, really easy to create. Before we do this, I'm going to start with something a little simpler. So we're just going to go into this tab here and I'm going to show you how you'd create this yourself. So I've come up with 3 examples of why you'd want to create a drop-down list. The first one is weekdays, days of the week. So in order to create a drop-down in the cell where I am now, which is I4, I'm going to go into, if you're in the home screen, you click on the data tab and then you go over to data tools and you click on data validation and you want the top one, data validation. From this menu you want to go to this section here where it says validation criteria and allow. Below allow, you want to do the drop down here and select lists. I generally leave these both boxes ticked. One's to ignore blank and one is in cell drop down, which is what we're going to do for this example. So the next bit, we can leave all these bits selected and we're going to go to source, and once we're in source it wants to know where do you want to pull this information from. A weekday, so I'm going to go here, I'm going to click on cell A2, I'm going to drag that all the way down to A8, so you can see that it's actually added in the dollar signs to keep this as an absolute reference. Once that's done, you just click OK, go back into our screen and you can see it's added the drop down here. So all we need to do is press this and we can move between the choices we've made. You've got all your days of your week here we've selected. Really good. So obviously Wednesday's a little bit longer, so you might need to make your cell size a bit bigger. So that's the first one. Let's have a look at the second one. We're going to do months. So you do the same thing again. We're in the data tab, so we can click data validation and we're going to go into this data validation drop down where it says allow. I'm going to select lists again and leaving these the same. This time what we're going to do is we're going to take the header. We're going to go all the way from C1 all the way down to C13. Selected the range. We're going to click OK. And now what you can see, it's also got the header that's included, and it's got all the months and they're in the order that they're laid out there, which is really good. So they're in the order of the list. Finally, we can do a numerical list. We do the same thing again, data validation, drop this down to list, select all of this in the source section. We're going to click OK and we've got that. So what if we'd created one of these lists and we wanted to remove it? So what we do is we go back to the cell, into data validation again, and this time we click clear all. Once we've done that, you'll see that the drop down's gone. What we're going to do now is do something a little bit more complicated. We're going to go back into this data tab. I'm going to show you how I've created this little dashboard here powered by a drop down. So let's have a walkthrough on how to populate this dashboard. The first thing, we're going to start in cell H8 and we're going to add a list of our region code, data validation, drop down to lists, then into source. I'm going to select from R2 to R4 is where I've got my region code, and also column S is where I've got my region name. We'll need that later. We click OK. We can test our drop down. That's worked. So I've got north 001, south 001 and mid 001. First thing we're going to do is do an XLOOKUP to return the regional name for the code. So XLOOKUP using our lookup value in H8 as our point of reference, which is going to be the same for most of our formulas. And then we're going to look in column R and return column S using a lookup, which will close off. And now we can test that again. We'll move them around. So you can see north is Northern England. Make that a little bit bigger. And we can do south 001. So South Wales. Brilliant. Next thing we need to do is do total sales. From this we've only got sales volume, but if I can see down the list that all these are all 25p, so I can double check that. We can just pop a filter on here and use the drop down, and we can see yes, there's only one value that helps us with our total sales. So we can do equals SUMIFS and we're going to sum up column D based on column A, which is also cell reference H8. We can close that off. We can go back in and we can times that by, we'll use E1 because every cell in E has got 25p. Once we've done that, we have got the total sales. Add in a little bit of number formatting to make it look like currency. We've done that. Next thing, we need sales volume. We've already done the formula in here to do the calculation, so we're going to steal that SUMIFS, we're going to copy it, we're going to place it into volume. Let's just add a separator and reduce that down to no decimal places. Finally, let's use a COUNTIF to count the number of lines, because each line is its own order. So equal COUNTIF. I'm going to select column A and use cell H8 as our reference point. Once we've done that, we can also add the separator. Once that is added, that's that dashboard complete. If you have enjoyed this video, why not check me out in my next one?